Live.
And we're live. And what's happening? What's happening? It's the total DG moment.
We just had an eclipse happen inside the store. This is a once in a lifetime event.
Yeah, because it was Izzy being the eclipse.
It was exciting. I forgot my camera though.
Here we have our moon.
Yeah.
Mute.
Okay, awesome. So we're excited. Welcome back. Today we have a special live stream. We're going to be talking about an epic event. I know that this hasn't happened in how many years?
Almost 38 years here in the continental United States. It's happened in other. Yeah, well, no. I mean, I'm the only guy over here that can say I've been.
I can tell. Look at all those gray hairs.
I saw one in 1998, but I wasn't in the States.
This is the first one that's a total eclipse in the continental United States. It's happened in the Pacific and Asia and so forth, but this is the first one here in 38 years.
I heard we're gonna be on a jet flying across the U.S. as the eclipse is happening, right?
I heard we're gonna be giving this away.
Yes, we are.
That was it. It wasn't the plane ride. It was that
something better.
This huge giveaway.
This huge giveaway.
To find out how to enter, so you can win this 150-600 Sigma lens, click the link below after our live stream is over, of course, because you want to stay here because we have another secret giveaway going on. We love doing these secret giveaways in our live streams because we just love you guys.
Giving things away.
Yep.
Right?
I like putting smiles on people.
It's all about giving back.
I'm Santa.
So we're excited. Today we're going to be talking about this lens and many others. Izzy and Adam are going to be going over best tips and practices or best lenses and cameras to photograph the total solar eclipse going on August 21st. And I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the path and tips to use your phone. And we do have a small giveaway. We're going to be giving this beautiful tripod away. This is going to be useful that day and many other days of the year. So stay tuned. The winner for this is going to come out of our chat room. So the chat box you see right next to the live stream, make sure to ask all your questions. That's where we're going to be choosing today's winner.
Please put plenty of comments and questions there. That way you can also be a winner.
And so, you want to go ahead and get started? What else? Are you excited?
I am excited.
I'm super excited. I mean, I can't wait to give this away. We're going to give it away when?
Monday. So, thank you, Izzy. We're going to be giving this away on Monday. But in order to find out who wins, make sure to watch the link below and look for us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. That's where we're going to announce the winner. So links are below. Everything you need is going to be below. And we're mentioning 3 products today, tripod, filter, and lens. All the links will be below too.
Sure.
Now remember, you're going to be trying to capture this eclipse. It's going to be a total eclipse in certain portions of the United States. So yeah, of course, if we were going to be following it in a jet, we could start all the way from, where is it again? Oregon?
This is going from Oregon to South Carolina.
South Carolina.
70 miles and wide, and that's the total path.
Yep.
So it's going to be very
Actually, there's a link below so that you can check where it's going to be at what time.
An interactive map.
Yep.
Okay.
From NASA.
Great.
Official.
Well,
we only do official talk here.
Yes. No. None of this is rumored.
So make sure to ask your questions. You want to go ahead and just do like an overview of.
Well, I mean, there's going to be people that are going to want to work with the super telephotos and the telephoto zoom. Of course, absolutely will work on a full frame, but you got to be careful with your exposure. Remember, you're going to be working at lower exposure points. So you're going to be working at ISO 100, 200, and maybe bracket somewhere in between 1/15th of a second and maybe f11, f8, but bracket.
I'm gonna stop you there, Izzy. I'm not sure, what do you mean by bracket?
Yeah, you're gonna need to set your camera. If you have the capability, most cameras in today's digital world have a way to go into your menu and you can actually tell it, I want you to take 3 shots or 4 shots or 8 shots. Some of them go all the way up to 12 shots. And I want it to do an exposure, a quarter stop, half a stop, even up to 3 stops, underexposed and overexposed. So you're going to have multiple exposures of the same image, and that way you're going to guarantee to get the exposure that's going to work best for you. Of course, you could try it and just take a couple of shots and then do everything post-production, but with an epic and huge event like this, you really want to make sure. I mean, remember, memory cards are way up there in size, so just shoot away, walk around with extra batteries, and practice. You want to start practicing now before the actual event. You don't want to be fumbling around when something that happens this small amount of occurrences. You don't want to take the risk at the last second. So
practice. And most importantly, I think just watch what's going on. Right? Have all your equipment ready so you can actually
and be safe.
Be safe.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh boy, you got to make sure.
We have a couple questions about that.
Oh, we do?
Because I know that a lot of us know that we have to wear glasses. But what about our equipment? Do we have to?
We have to protect our equipment. I'm glad you brought that up. That's why I have this right here. This is what they call a solar eclipse filter. And the reason is you need to be able to work with something that gives you at least 16 f-stops worth of darkness. So notice how when you have something like this here, this is an ND 100,000. So notice how totally dark this is. I mean, you can't see through this. I mean, literally, this is almost like if you took some paint.
That's a totality.
Yes. I mean, look, there's nothing. I mean, I can put it up to here and I see absolutely nothing, because remember, you're going to be working in an environment where you're going to have this amount of infrared light and, UV light directly magnified onto your camera sensor. So you want to protect it, because you will fry it if you're not working with something with the proper density. So I've read some posters out there where people are saying, oh no, just go ahead and stack a couple of circular polarizers and so forth. You're going to find out, unfortunately, the hard way, where now all of a sudden this fries your sensor, and that's an expensive proposition. Plus, like you mentioned, the glasses for our eyes. We can't just sit there. I remember when I was a small kid, we looked at it on a box, so you had a reflection, and it was I saw that. It was all happening on a cardboard box. I was like, yay, I waited this long to look at it on a cardboard box? What's that?
Was it in black and white?
Yes. We didn't have color in my era. It was before the Wizard of Oz.
So you mentioned the glass. So we need be prepared with glasses that are specific for the solar eclipse. We need special filtration for your lens. What about for people that are going to use like a cell phone that want to try to take a picture, or should we?
Yeah, definitely. So someone was asking, what's that little tripod good for when shooting pictures of the eclipse for your phone? So on here we have the Ultra Photo mini tripod or pistol grip, and on top of that we've mounted a Manfrotto phone. Yeah,
cell phone adapter. It's a cell phone clip.
So you can take this off if you like and just use it by itself.
If you want to put your cell phone here,
it expands to allow you to.
It gets larger,
I think for well, for the cell phone, you would have to do the same thing. Really large phones, it probably works up to like an iPhone 7, but not an iPhone 7 Plus, or is it a Plus, or what's the?
No, this is like any phone, obviously, depending on which phone you're using.
Up to a certain size.
Up to a certain size.
Yeah,
but it gives you quite a bit of room, but it just expands up, so you can, if it's different.
But again, I guess the tripod is good because you're getting. I mean, it's a phone. You want to make sure that it's stable as it can be.
Just the same way for your camera, absolutely.
You want to be hands-free, so you can enjoy the eclipse. You can do a time lapse with your phone, which would be awesome. I think that's a great idea.
In conjunction with the photos that you're going to take from your
larger lens, or if you don't have this lens, or if you win this lens on Monday, then you won't need your phone, but most of us are going to be relying on our phone.
You can record yourself.
I suggest you do read some tips on which phones you can use to get the best pictures, because it depends on what
and
generation.
And you need some filtration. You'll still get, even if you're shooting with the phone, you're going to still need some type of filtration for the lens.
The sensor will be damaged also if you don't take care
So
of it.
you got to take proper care when using any type of electronic device when recording the sun. So
let's see, we have a few questions here.
Sure. Wow, this is heavy.
Someone was asking, this is a question for Adam from Marla. Should I use a flash when photographing the eclipse?
Well, I wish we had a flash that would be able to fire all the way up to the eclipse.
You don't want to ruin people's experience.
No, I think for photographing the eclipse, a flash wouldn't be necessary.
Unless you want to be in the picture and you want to be lit up. That's about the only time.
Unless you were photographing people within it or doing a time lapse and you were flashing for the, to expose for the subject matter that's closer to the camera, and then also still get the eclipse. But I think it would be pretty tough, using a flash while photographing the eclipse. I would recommend not to, but especially if you're just a beginner, I'd stick to just using your camera and lens and
and also remember, there are going to be a lot of people. It depends on where you're watching this from.
Oh God! Yeah.
Within the total path, it's going to be probably the day of worst traffic ever in the history.
And the hotels around those areas, I've read that they're sold out. They've been sold out for weeks.
Yeah.
So
the glasses are going up in price. So make sure to prepare.
I couldn't buy any. I have some on order. They're going to get here like what, 2-3 days.
I have
3 days before.
I have my glasses.
We're going to be giving away these glasses.
Yeah.
That's the surprise we have
But it's going to be giving away on the 23rd.
I think it's going to be a little late, my brother.
It'll be for the next one.
But yeah, I do think flashes sometimes, like if you're there and it's total darkness and then someone just fires a flash, it might be a
little bit disturbing for other people that are around you. So you always want to just be conscious of your where you are, who's around you, and stuff. So. But thanks. It was a really good question. Thank you, Marla.
Yeah, thank you, Marla. And it was specifically for Adam. So we have many questions about the lens. How much is this lens?
This lens, I think the last time I checked, it's under $1,000 right now. Just shy.
Yeah. And you can win it on Monday. So
yep.
Where are we going to post? Just in case we have a few people that just joined us, where can they find out? How can they enter, and where can they find out if they won?
So it's very easy. You just got to subscribe. You just got to say hello to the person that hung. You got to subscribe to our channel, and that's it. To our YouTube channel.
But
a little more than that.
I think we are going to announce the winner in our social media. Yes.
Yeah, first Monday the 14th, which is next Monday, you have to look for us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter to find out if you won. But before that, you've got to enter. The link is below. The video has been up for about a couple weeks now. Izzy is explaining to you what you have to do in that video. Go watch that video.
You have to see the video.
A few details there, we do have a hashtag. The hashtag's been doing really well. Join the conversation by using Total DG Moment. That's our hashtag.
That's the hashtag.
This is a Total DG moment,
right? It is, absolutely.
And we've seen a lot of great pictures. The idea is for you to share your best photo that you've taken, and you consider that a Total DG moment because it's like a moment that's worth that picture. So let me
part
see.
Of the family.
We have so many questions. Does the giveaway include that filter? No.
No.
Today we're doing a small giveaway. It's for this tripod, so you can use your phone. You have to make sure you protect your phone when you do take photos of the eclipse, but in here we're giving you the pistol grip so you can hold it with your hand or use it as a mini tripod, and the cell phone adapter. So you'll get that today. By the end of the live stream, we'll be choosing someone that's been interactive, so ask your questions. And the huge giveaway, does that include the filter?
No, it doesn't come with a filter because there's just not enough of these to go around. We couldn't get enough of them. As a matter of fact, I have a suggestion. I think I've seen it on Amazon. There's a company called 10,000 Oaks Optical, and they have filtration sheets that are meant for the solar eclipse. Problem is, they're starting to run out too. So now the secondary sellers are selling it, and the prices keep going up. So try to contact them directly. But the cool thing is that they actually have sheets where you can cut it out to the size that you need. And guess what? Instead of having to use a filter, you can just do it very simply by attaching it to the inside of your lens hood. And then you place your lens hood right onto your lens, and you now have a solar eclipse filter, because there are very few of them left out there, and unfortunately they have become a very needed commodity for some reason.
And someone is saying, and it's true, I've read this before, you might not need a filter for your phone because it's a wide enough angle that it's not going to be affected.
It's not going to focus.
It's not going to have that direct beam.
I would just play, I would play it safe, but yeah, that does have
research.
Yeah, when you're using a telephoto lens,
you have a really good insurance policy with your phone.
I'd still be careful when pointing the light, the camera. But there's some other, I think, some other tricks that I think would work really well, especially if you're using a DSLR camera with a removable lens. A little trick that you can do, especially because you're going to be you're going to need a tripod.
Absolutely,
like
this is not a handheld moment.
I'll see it.
That's what tripod is that?
This Manfrotto Be Free is.
You don't need this exact one, but this is this is one of my favorite tripods. It's very lightweight. It packs up really nicely. So if you're going to be, if you're going to be on the move, especially traveling to a certain location for this eclipse, and you don't have a tripod yet, check out. We'll have the link we'll share the link for where you can purchase it. But if you're going to use a tripod and you're going to use a long lens, and you point the lens up and you're going to keep the lens pointed up, a good trick is just to get some tape or something to keep the lens from creeping and moving down. Because over time, it's the weight of the lens is just gonna move the lens down a little bit. So if you find some like a strong tape, you can just add some tape to keep it from moving. Also, if your lens that you're going to use it, like if you're using like a 100-400, a 70-300, and your lens has stabilization,
turn it off.
Turn the stabilization off when you have it on the tripod. Absolutely. I can't emphasize that enough, because with the stabilization system turned on in your lens, there is an element there's vibration going on inside the lens itself. So to get the best quality, you want to turn the stabilization system off.
Yep.
What else?
So that's a good point, because people are asking if we can put the settings after the video is posted.
Sure.
We'll make sure to have Is Your Adam summarize what we said, so you can see that in the description box too. What would be the best settings for your camera? So we've talked about lenses, and now what can you tell us?
You got to work with the lower ISOs. You don't want to work with super high ISOs, because again, you're dealing with a tremendous amount of light that's going to be directed at your sensor. So usually if your camera has a setting of 100 or 200 ISO, that's a good starting point. And if you want to show detail, I would say stop down, if you have that capability, to about f8, f11. And again, bracket. Try to take some multiple exposures to compensate, because again, this is something that doesn't happen all the time, so you want to make sure you capture it. So that's the beauty of having cameras with large memory cards available.
The other thing I would recommend also, especially if you're shooting with a camera that allows you to set it to manual, but also allows you to capture a RAW file. For something like this, even if you're not familiar with shooting RAW, I maybe set the camera to shoot RAW plus JPEG.
Yep.
That way you have the original data to work with, and if you have to change your exposure or something like that, or your white balance.
We had that question.
With a click of the button, so if you're using something like Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One, any of those, any RAW editor, or if you're just using like Canon or Nikon or Sony's editor, shooting a RAW file allows you to change your white balance, adjust your exposure, just fine-tune sharpening. Usually you can adjust, it usually saves the lens profile, so you can correct for any distortion in the lens, chromatic aberration, stuff like that. So if you are a beginner, and we do have some time till the eclipse, and you haven't messed around with the RAW raw setting,
Practice.
practice that.
Please.
I'd say
do so
for
with
a
your
special
phone, too.
event,
Yeah.
raw. You could do raw with certain phones. Certain operating systems allow you to shoot raw in certain applications. Typically, straight from like iOS, you can't save a raw file. But if you get, you know,
Yeah, there's certain apps.
certain
that allow you to do it.
applications,
Yep.
and I'm not too familiar with all the phone
Wait, can you
applications.
practice
but you can.
shooting pictures of the moon right before
Well, no,
the
you
eclipse?
could,
so
you want to actually work with the sun and work in a situation like try to work with a building. So that way it's going to block out the light as much as possible and you can actually get some incredible shots. There's some shots out there where you're working with the edge of the building to block out the sun like it's an eclipse. And that way you can get like small flares and you can practice that way so that you are prepared for the 21st of August because again, we're going to have a short time span. You don't want to have to start practicing right then and there.
Right. Yeah, because you do want to enjoy
Yeah, absolutely.
the event as well.
Yeah.
That I think it's the most important tip we can give you
Yeah,
today.
for
It's
sure.
put all this down, have it prepared with enough time for you to just look at what's going on
Exactly.
around you.
Yep.
At most, the total darkness is going to be for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So that's very little time. And
Wow.
make sure, and you know, that you'll have to wait maybe 38 more years or who knows how long
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
I guess I'll
experience
have to
this.
freeze myself.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Chisel away.
Yes.
So let's see. Are you guys going to the path of totality?
You are.
I am. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to be in St. Louis. So I want to go over real quick just as a side note which cities you guys could go to. So it is 70 miles wide and stretches from Oregon to South
incredible.
Carolina.
That's impressive.
Passes through Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia. North Carolina and South Carolina as well. So there is an interactive map right below. You guys could click on that right after, just have some fun. I know that there are going to be apps that you could use that day.
Mobile and, you know, on your computer. It's there. Again, NASA has some, what is it, Earth.org or Earth?
Earth.
Which,
I don't know.
which
Earth something
Google
org.
Maps.
if you were going, which DSLR, which camera would you take?
Oh my
Or
God.
give
The best
me
camera is
two.
the one that's with you. But let's say, for example, if you shoot with a full frame DSLR, absolutely. If you shoot with a crop sensor, definitely. I mean, nowadays we can capture it with even something as simple as a phone. But if you do have an interchangeable lens camera, a DSLR or an ILC, whether it's mirrorless, absolutely take it with you. You want to be able to have something to capture it with. You really do.
If I can name two cameras, and you probably already know which one I would name, and this is not something that maybe, you know, beyond my my affordability, would be probably the 1DX Mark II and the Sony A7 or the Sony A7S.
The A7S, yeah.
II. Those would be my two cameras that either one of those I would take, just in terms of image quality, functionality.
See, I'm getting
But-
on in the year,
But
so I want convenience.
Correct me
So
if I'm wrong,
Sure.
but are you supposed to take off the filter like during totality, right?
Totality, you can take off the filter.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because if you don't take it off, then
yeah, then
You're not
you'll
gonna see anything.
nothing. Yep.
yeah. So make sure. I think that's a biggie.
Yeah.
Make sure,
Yeah.
but so then
Once
you need to be.
Yeah, once it's completely, and I think you have about 2 or
Say
two and a
like
half
2
minutes,
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2.5
2
minutes.
something like that. So
Yep.
Don't forget to take it off because then it's
And
gonna
then
end.
when it's, you got to put it back on and
Yeah.
continue recording as all that excessive light starts.
Right.
hitting again.
and you got to watch out for all those nocturnal animals that might come out
Yep.
during that time.
And your, yeah, sorry, you said that, and then I imagine friends and family, but of course I'm not thinking, you know. Someone suggested, and it's true, make sure that you take pictures if you can of people's reaction because
Oh,
course.
yeah.
because
That's-
yeah.
That's the most important
a
part right there, where
great
you're
advice.
sharing it
Great
with family and
advice.
friends, so you can
Yeah.
capture the moment. This is something that we have to capture
I
for
think that's what
for
a lot of
prosperity.
people. That's what a lot of people miss. Actually,
Yep.
I do that a lot. Actually, I remember being at a big event, and I don't know, some musician came on stage, and instead of photographing the musician, I turned around and I got a photo of everybody that was behind me with their phones up, smiling and everything. It was a great shot.
That's
and I think
priceless, yeah.
And I think it would have been better than just photographing the artist that was up on stage. So that's a
Especially if you're surrounded by friends and family. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. So let's do one last question.
Sure.
How does this look when it's at its 600?
That's what I was playing around with, because this is so huge.
This is a huge giveaway, guys. So again, make sure to tune into Izzy's video where he's explaining what you have to do to enter. The winner is going to be posted on Monday. Someone was asking, if you don't have a social media account, can you still find out if you won? Yes. Even if you don't have Instagram, you can go on your desktop and look for Digital Goja's Instagram. Click on the link below. We have all our social media links below, and it'll be posted on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram on Monday. I think we're really excited to find out who's going to be taking this.
I can't wait to give this away.
And today we have another winner. We have a winner for this today.
We do?
I have two. Real quick, I want to show you guys the name so that we can all announce it together.
Sure. I need my 600mm lens attached to my eye.
And I need my macro to be able to see that, because that's the world's smallest font.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so here's our winner.
And you're being blocked.
Can you see that?
I can't see it, but
I'm going to take your word for it.
Okay, I'm gonna
You're going to put it right up to my eye? Look, let's have the old guy read it. Suzanne, and I'm going to hopefully say the last name correct.
Izzy already announced the winner. He was supposed to just read it. But
Brummel? Brummel?
Suzanne Brummel.
Brummel.
And she said she's going to be watching the clips with her kids. So
That's
she was
fantastic.
also giving a lot of great suggestions for using your phone, taping stuff over it. I mean, make sure to do your research, but congratulations.
Tons of stuff online.
The Ultra Photo Pistol Grip and the Manfrotto cell phone adapter. So hopefully you can use this.
Congratulations, Suzanne. Yay.
So awesome. Yes, she's asking if it's her. Yes, it's you.
Yes, still you.
Okay.
Congratulations.
So I think that's a wrap. That's it for today.
And remember, stay tuned for
absolutely. You want to check in so that you can get this huge lens.
Okay, guys.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you in the next video.
See you guys next time. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for tuning in again.
All right.